Alright, what's going on, guys? So, I'll try to get through this video without hacking my guts out. I've been sick for the past week, which is why you haven't been seeing me on Twitch. Sorry if I sound a little weird or if I have to pause for a second, but I feel like I really needed to get this video out because it's been bugging me all week. First of all, thank you guys for all the comments on my YouTube videos. It's really awesome to see so many people interacting with my videos. But there was one comment that stood out, and they said that they couldn't use their offhand the weapon or ability that was in their offhand, but they weren't specific enough. I didn't know what they were particularly having a problem with. So I just did a little bit of research in the game myself to see what might be going on. And the only combination that I found that I couldn't use completely was when I had a weapon like the Sword of Night and Flame that has a skill on the blade itself, and you can't change that skill or anything like that. And then you also have a seal, faith seal, with or a staff, either one, that creates an incantation like the Blood Flame Blade or regular flame or ice or whatever magic that gets cast onto your blade of your weapon. When you try to do that with the seal, it won't do anything. The person just looks confused, and that's it. Nothing happens. That's the only thing that I've come across that it does nothing. However, I want to go through a few other things, which is why I chose to equip the Sword of Night and Flame and the Godslayer Seal. So with these weapons, I have the ability with this sword to use it for regular melee combat. And even when I go into the stance to use the skills, the Night and Flame skills that are on this weapon, and I go to do it, it doesn't do anything. As far as like the ranged attacks and skills and what it's really supposed to look like, but it does still attack, kind of. Like I wonder if you can actually still use these as a standard melee attack, and will probably do damage to enemies and stuff, but that is not what it's actually supposed to do. It's supposed to shoot out a beam, and you're supposed to cast flame. That's what this is supposed to actually do. And I can't do that because I don't have 24 intelligence and 24 faith. But I can still use the weapon. I can still use it for melee. And the same with the Godslayer Seal. A little bit more complicated with the seal than with the blade. And what I mean is, let me go ahead and equip that. And as you can see, if I have a weapon like this, I have the Bloodhound step on it, so I can still cast the Blood Flame Blade on this weapon. But you see, all of these are still able to be used. Even though I have an X on the seal, I can still use that seal to cast all of these abilities. And so, why is the X there? Why do you need 27 faith, but I can still use all of the abilities? I think what's going on is, for this Godslayer Seal in particular, and there might be other weapons out there that are have the same thing going on, it's the passive effect. So the passive effect for the Godslayer Seal is boosts Godslayer incantations. So I don't think that actually works until you have at least 27 faith. So I think that's what's going on. So I really, I spent a while trying to figure out what could potentially make it to where you can't use your offhand at all. And this was the only thing that I could find, is a combination of an incantation that adds ice, flame, magic, whatever damage to the blade of your main hand weapon. You're trying to do that to a weapon that has an Ash of War or a skill that came with the blade that already enchants the blade, or a special weapon like Sword of Night and Flame that you just can't cast an incantation of blood flame blade or flame or ice or magic onto that blade. You just can't do it. And so the result is nothing happening. So that's the only thing that I could find. Hopefully this answers that person's question, and this helps them out a little bit more, and it helps other people out. Like, they're not understanding why the weapons or the seals or the stabs aren't taking full effect. Because I've found that, you know, you can use these to an extent, but you won't have the full ability set that the specific weapon or seal has. You won't have that passive ability until you have the requirements on that weapon. So even if it has an X on it, you can still use it. But as far as not being able to use your offhand weapon or ability at all, that's the only thing that I could find, was that you have an Ash of War that does not allow you to double up the abilities. So you have an Ash of War that casts ice on your weapon, so you have ice on that weapon. But then you try to cast Blood Flame Blade, for example, on that same weapon. It's just not going to work. You're just going to see this every time. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully this was informative. And I should be back again on Twitch tomorrow. Feel free to follow me over there. Check me out over there. It's the same name, Red Potions, all spelled in one word. Look forward to seeing you guys and hearing from you guys in chat. And if you guys have any questions about the game, that's where you can find me live. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? Later.